Good morning, Magic Tribe, and welcome back to Magic Mom Ministries. I'm Nina Diederich. I'm here to give you your magic love note. And today we are discussing the impending 12/12 portal opening tomorrow that involves us realigning with our galactic center, which always occurs between the 12/12 and solstice, which is on the 21st or the 22nd, depending on where you are in the world. Good morning, faithful one. And hello, Morpheus. It's nice to see you again. We've missed you. So today, and good morning, Taylor. So today we are talking about how we're realigning with our galactic center. And for a lot of us this year, this is concluding our ascension cycle that we started in 2012. Oh, you did? Where are you at now? Moves are always kind of crazy, but it's kind of going around right now. To be honest, we're feeling an impending move coming for Magic Mom Ministries too. We're just not sure where we're going to end up yet. So we are currently in the process of looking for where we want to set up our permanent retreat center. India. Wow, that's crazy. I am wishing you all the best in your new journey, and I invoke the highest happiness and joy. That's pretty awesome. I am super, super happy to hear that, Morpheus. I hope it works out for you. So the 12/12 portal realigns us with our Christed consciousness, which is kind of what we're all realigning with, is our higher aspect or our God consciousness, right? And a lot of people are saying that this is going to activate the 12 strands of DNA too that we have that are inactive, bringing us back up to the level where we're running 13 strands again. And really, it just depends on what your beliefs are and what you think is actually going on. But the fact of the matter is we are all definitely on this evolutionary journey, and there is definitely a leveling up of consciousness going on. So we have probably, I think, over the last 3 years reached the point now where we're hitting mass consciousness, and we're going to start seeing this whole awakening process kind of blow up a little bit. And so those of you being called into service now, just know that what you need is going to be presented to you when you need it, and have faith in source, okay? It's not as scary as it seems. Also, let's see, what else did I need to say about that? I think that was all really it. So expect some crazy stuff to be occurring now until probably the 21st, maybe up until the 23rd. There's going to be a lot of rapid changes coming, weird, strange opportunities cropping up. And it's all to get us where we need to be in order to activate this new Earth grid properly. Okay, so if you're getting intuitions about where you need to be right now, make sure you're following them. Sounds like you followed yours, Morpheus. I'm proud of you. Good job. All right, Magic Tribe. I originally titled today The Hall of Mirrors because we're going to be seeing a lot of ourself showing up in other people right now. And so I think we're going to start today off with a Divine Wisdom card from Neil Donald Walsh's deck. And that is from Conversations with God. And I miss this message every day, so let's pull one for today. What message you have for us today, Source? What is our message? Oh, I actually had a little bit of a pile flip over. Let's see what these are. Oh my goodness, there's 4 of these. Okay, so we have a rather long message from the divine this morning. Let's see what it has to say, okay? All right, so let's start with the bottom one, which is this pretty little desert scene, and it says, every human thought and every human action is based in either love or fear. There is no other human motivation, and all other ideas are but derivatives of these two. They are simply different versions, different twists on the same theme. Because so long as you entertain the notion that there is something or someone else out there doing it to you, you disempower yourself to do anything about it. Only when you say, I did this, can you find the power to change it. Because my purpose in creating you, my spiritual offspring, was for me to know myself as God. I have no way to do that save through you. Thus, it can be said, and has been many times, that my purpose for you is that you should know yourself as me. And last, masters are those who have chosen only love in every instance, in every moment, and every circumstance. Even as they were being killed, they loved their murderers, and even as they were being persecuted, they loved their oppressors. And while most of us probably will not be able to achieve this level of mastery in this life, or at least consciously anyway, we are all trying to move towards that level through this evolutionary process. And we're going to use those 4 cards as our basis for today. And let's start pulling clarifiers out. I'm going to pull one each out from Gabby Bernstein's deck. The universe has your back. And let's start with every human thought and every human action is based in either love or fear. See if we can get... Oh. I got 3 cards. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, and 1 more. Okay, so our message from the universe to add to our message from the divine is I am the loving energy of the universe. The presence of love will always cast out fear. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. Because my vibes speak louder than my words. So, what you are reflecting out into the world right now is what is being returned to you. Make sure you have attained enough mastery, at least, to know that you're the one calling this in and no one is doing it to you. Okay? That's not how the world works. With our actions or inactions, sometimes we call in the things in our lives that become part of our reality in the future, or in no time, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. And we pluck things out of the collective consciousness that are already a possibility. And it depends on the choices that you're making in the present now on whether all of those opportunities are available to you at once or not. So let's get more clarification with... let's pull from the Everyday Witch deck, actually. And then I may read her definer out of her book. I'm not sure. I don't know if I have done that yet for this particular deck. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, one of my personal favorites. Thank you, Miss Taylor. Oh, one and another. One more. Beautiful. Okay. So we have to start it off with the I am the loving energy of the universe card. This seems to be our blockage. As you see, this is the Nine of Swords card, and the Nine of Swords card is about contemplating our past to try to figure out how the fuck we got where we are now. Okay? And sometimes over contemplation can kind of kick us in our figurative balls. Hello, Dennis and Katie. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's see what the Nine of Swords says in the book. Because I love reading the definers that they give you guys every once in a while in these because they're super fun. Okay, so the Nine of Swords says, it's always darkest before the dawn. So maybe some of you are coming out of your dark night and are looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, if you're looking for the light at the end of the tunnel and you can't see it, it's because you are it. So the Nine of Swords is about us pulling the woe is me, and that's not how any of us want to be looked at, is it? This is kind of a little bit long, but I want to read it all to you for at least this card. It says, who hasn't had a night like this one? This witch is overwhelmed with sadness, and although there's no way for us to tell exactly what she's been obsessing over, whatever it is has clearly been weighing heavily on her mind and heart. In her head, everything seems hopeless, and yet if she would only stop crying for a moment and look up, she would see that it is the dawn of a brand new day. Anything is possible, and she is not as alone as she feels. The things to consider with this card are, all of us have times when life seems overwhelming. Our hearts are broken and our spirit is crushed, and it seems like we will always feel this way. If the Nine of Swords is in the past position, you may finally be working your way out of the dark. Yay! If it is in the present, then you want to ask yourself if things are truly as bad as they seem, and maybe they are. Or if you're letting yourself get caught up in the spiral of self-pity and despair that never gets you anywhere. In either case, you should probably pick your head up and look around. There may be a light at the end of the tunnel that you're missing completely because you're so caught up in the drama of the situation. If the Nine of Swords falls in the future position, it's a warning. Better pay attention or you'll probably end up crying. And I think you guys know which one of those applies to you. I know we all kind of get sucked into this, and if this is where you are today, lift up your head and look around you. There are always people around you who are willing to help. All you have to do is ask, and I know sometimes asking is the hardest step, but if you really want to make a difference in your life and the life of others, you'll do it. It's the first test in your initiation. Welcome. And if you're finally coming out of this feeling, welcome again. And good job choosing love. The Seven of Swords. Oh my goodness. We have a lot of swords this morning. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is also kind of about the same thing, feeling like you're the thief stealing away in the night because you're finally starting to be happy because the presence of love in your life always outweighs the presence of fear. And those of us who have finally lifted up our heads and realized that life is not really as bad as people make it out to be, and we only make it that way by our lack of making a proper decision, and things kind of have a way of working themselves out, and then we end up in this position where suddenly we have all the authority in our lives, like the Hierophant, and that's something we have all looked at outside of ourselves because we felt that somebody else held the sovereignty in our lives, but really we've held it all along. No one else is king or queen of your life. That's you. So if you don't like the way things are, change them because nobody else has the power to do it. And remember, there's always someone watching too. And then our last card from the Witch deck is the Five of Cups. And I'm going to read this one too because this looks like we may be trying to fall back into the same trap as the Nine of Swords. So let's see what the Five of Cups has to say. See, and this is about us not getting our way. You'll see at the bottom it says ruined. It's all ruined. So maybe something didn't totally meet our expectation and we feel like we should just throw in the towel and scrap the whole idea just because something didn't completely go our way. But maybe it went that way because things are going to be better than we planned. And sometimes we get too sucked into the drama, which is really funny because the top of this says, are you so focused on the negative that you're missing the good stuff? Because let's face it, in life, bad things happen. You make plans, you work hard, everything is all set, and wham, disaster. The car breaks down. Your perfect vacation gets ruined or gets rained out. You slip and break your leg 2 days before your wedding. It's easy to get discouraged and lose track of the big picture. And suddenly, everything is ruined. But is it? Everything? Really? Or are you just so focused on the bad stuff that you forget about all the good? After all, the car may be broken, but no one got hurt. You still got to spend your vacation with family and play all those fun board games. And maybe you hobbled down the aisle on a pair of crutches, but you've got someone who loves you. Don't let the bumps in life distract you from all the blessings you still do have. Things to consider here: glass half full or glass half empty. The Five of Cups reminds you that no matter how many cups you may spill, you still have plenty filled to the brim. Are you focusing all your attention on the negative and crying over spilled milk? Maybe it's time to look around at the things that are working for you and count your blessings. If you don't have milk, you'll just have to drink lemonade. This is about us adapting to the things in our lives, everyone. And yeah, sometimes maybe, yeah, we really do want the milk and we spill it. But maybe it was poisoned and you really needed the lemonade instead. Sometimes we try to give ourselves things that we want, even though we know that they're bad for us, and the universe sometimes steps in and saves us from ourselves. This won't always happen, but sometimes it does when it feels like we need a bump in the right direction. So as we go into this portal tomorrow, make sure you're solid in your decision. Are you choosing love in every moment? Or are you still being ruled by your feeling of lack and unworthiness? lack and unworthiness have no place on New Earth, everyone. This is about full disclosure. Not just about the outside world, but full disclosure about yourself. So if you're still not being completely honest, it's time to pull your head out of your ass and start before the universe shows your cards anyway. Because that is what is going to be happening between now and the solstice. Because once the solstice happens, the snowball's going to start rolling downhill. So make sure you didn't pick the dog shit side of the hill to roll down this time. So that is it for today, everyone. Know that we here at Life is a Magic at Magic Mom Ministries love, appreciate, and are in full support of all of you. And if you have not signed up to join us on our 365 days of magic, the link's in the box below, and I can't wait to see all of you when we get started. I love all of you, and yes, the best way to start this is to look at everything in your life from the perspective of gratitude and knowing no matter how shitty the area was that you had to walk through, shit washes off and your soul is still crystal clean. So, love yourself, love each other, and I will be back at 5 p.m. with our next section in the 10th Insight. And it's getting good. We're not having a lot of interaction anymore with the experiential guide. It's kind of leaving us on our own to make our own decisions now, but things are now starting to come out of the word work that are definitely having some serious correlations with things that are happening right now. And in a way, it's kind of giving me a little bit of deja vu reading it. But it's pretty epic, so I hope to see all of you there. Remember, I love you, so you should too. And I'll see you all later. Be good.